Hey everyone, it's John with Active Self Protection, and I have an update on my new pocket carry gun, my Glock 43. This gun now has 1,000 rounds through it. It has 850 full metal jackets and 150 jacketed hollow points. A couple of things that I just wanted to tell you about this. It has been dead nuts reliable. I just got it back a little while ago with this stipple job on it from Gun Grips Custom. So that changed the features of the gun just a little bit. They did the stipple job for me. I think it's pretty cool. If you see, they actually put the ASP logo, you can see right there, yeah, on it for me, which I thought was a really cool touch. Stippled the frame, did a double undercut, so you can see here, let's see if I can get out of the way, and you can see just a little bit more. He did a double undercut there, and you can just kind of barely see that. And then polished the internals just a little bit and smoothed the trigger out a little bit more. If you watch the 500 round review, it's a little humid in here, I'm getting a little bit of foggy glasses, but you remember that I put a set of Trigicon HD night sights on it, and I put a ghost edge connector in it. And so first things first, I just want you to know this is not a stock Glock 43. This is a gun that I have worked on to really work for me as a pocket gun and as a gun to carry when I really need to worry about concealment. I carry my HK VP9 every day normally, but if I'm really worried about getting made, I live in Arizona, it's not a huge problem, but if you do, that's an issue. And this gun is just small enough to fit in my pocket, whereas I looked at guns like the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield and the XDS, the Springfield XDS, just a little too big to put in a pocket. This guy with the flush mount mag, you can. So I went with this. I've now got 1,000 rounds through it, and the stipple job was really good, but I want you to recognize what I've got in this gun, okay? So the gun itself was $450. That's great. The set of HD night sights was $150. The trigger connector was $30. I put a couple of magazines into it with Terran Tactical Plus 2s. Let's see, I've got one of those guys right here. So you can see that. It's got the Vickers Plus 2 extension on it. Very helpful because now you got 9 in the gun. And then okay, so Alex from Gun Grips Custom did the stipple job for me for free, but if I had to pay for that, it would have been another $300 for the internal work. You know, he just polished surfaces and then did a beautiful stipple job. So all things considered, if I were to just go out and buy this gun, which I did everything, but the stipple job was provided for me, this is about a $1,000 gun. So I just want you to recognize that if you're gonna get into what I consider a really reliable pocket gun, it's not gonna come super cheap, but I always wanna make sure that you know what the actual costs are. Then you gotta talk about holsters. I have a pocket holster for this gun. I also have 2 different appendix carry holsters for it. That's what I have, so you gotta figure that's about $130 or $140 worth of holsters. So, you know, plus the ammo that I've put into it, 850 rounds of FMJ and 150 rounds of jacketed hollow points, quality hollow point ammunition. I've got another couple $100 worth of ammo down it. So I got 12 or 1,300 bucks in this gun by the time I'm really ready to consider it a carry gun. But let's shoot it and see how it feels and see what it does. And let me show you why I chose this one as my pocket gun. So you saw in the 500 round video that this gun was pretty controllable, especially with the extended magazine on. Now with the stipple job, it really is controllable. Let me show you what it looks like. So again, I'm shooting from a thumbs forward grip, and the reasons that I like this little gun is it is just barely big enough that I can get a full firing grip on it, that I can get a thumbs forward grip. I can shoot this gun one-handed, I can shoot it two-handed, so I don't sacrifice actual performance in the gun when I go to fire it. It's one of the reasons that I really like it. So let's look and see what kind of recoil control performance, you know, characteristics we have. Again, thumbs forward, standard grip. So this is what we're gonna see. Now, let's show you with the flush mount. This is where I think it really shines, because here's the thing. Now, if I carry appendix, I carry with the extended mag on it, so I have 9 in the gun. But if I go pocket, then I gotta go with the flush mounted magazine. Why? Now, what's the big deal about that? Well, what you can see is the big deal about that is now my pinky is hanging off the gun. And one of the challenges that I saw, the reason that I got it stippled, is that when I would drive that gun out there, I caught myself milking my grip just a little bit because I couldn't really maintain my grip on the gun. So now we've got that on there. Again, the double undercut, the undercut lets me get my hand up just a little bit higher on the gun. Doesn't give me an extra finger, but it does give me just a little bit better control with the stipple job. So let's see how it does now with that. One of the reasons that I really like this little gun here is that I really love how controllable it is now that I have everything in it that I want. Again, you notice it eats anything I feed it. That's a Gila 9mm ammunition. So it's not what you call high dollar ammo, but it eats anything that I fed it. I have never had a fail to eject. I've never had a fail to fire. I haven't had any problems with this gun. It has been dead nuts reliable through 1,000 rounds. So would I recommend this as a concealed carry gun? Well, I didn't recommend it, especially in a state where you have capacity limits. So if you had, if you live in a state that limits you to 10 rounds, or God forbid, a state like New York that limits you to 7, I don't know if it's even legal to have one of these if they have a list or whatever, but in those states where capacity is not a concern because you're limited by statute, I think this is a fantastic gun because it's so concealable. If being made, if concealment is a bigger deal to you than capacity, you can put this gun in a pocket and it's going to work really well. You can put this gun appendix and it's going to just disappear. You're not even going to know it's there, especially when you put that flush mount mag on there. The reason that I went with this is it's just small enough to stick in a pocket. So overall, 1,000 rounds, really happy with this gun. It's not the end all be all. I've got a lot of money in it to make it that way, but it works really well for me. It might work well for you as well.